Okay, now let's read the rest of the chapter to see what else the Lord has to say here. In verse 26, 1 Kings 13, verse 26, it says, "And when the prophet who had brought him back from the way heard of it, he said, 'It is the man of God who disobeyed the word of the Lord. Therefore the Lord has given him to the lion, which has torn him and killed him, according to the word that the Lord spoke to him.'" Now, when the old man said this, when he found out that the man of God had been killed by a lion, he took the opportunity to remind the people who were listening that he had prophesied about that. That was one way of certifying that he was once again this important and functional prophet who was exercising his prophetic endowment. So that's the reason why he says, oh, he was torn by the word of the Lord. He didn't mention the fact that this man was placed in this situation because he lied to him. He didn't mention that. He just mentioned, oh, I prophesied that he was going to die like that. That's what he was insinuating there. And that is something that the soul tends to do. The soul tends to emphasize the nice things, the things that make you feel nice, and it tries to pretend like the bad things that it has done that never happened. It's the soul, when it's ruled by the flesh, is hypocritical in that sense. Now it says here, "And he said to his sons," verse 27, "Saddle the donkey for me," and they saddled it. So after he showed everybody, including his sons, that he was a prophet who gave accurate prophecies, then he said, okay, now this is more reason for you to serve me. So that's why he immediately, that's why the Spirit of God puts this verse immediately afterwards, as if to say, then he used his renewed reputation to get people to do things for him again. So the sons began to act as servants to him. And that is very different with, for example, when you compare it to the sons of the prophets who followed Elijah and followed Elisha. They wanted to have an impartation from him, so they were following these men and serving them, but it was for the intention, for this explicit purpose of learning something from them and getting an impartation and growing and serving God in the process. But these sons are trapped under this canopy that this old prophet has created around him and over him, and these people are living under the covering of his big oak, of his ministerial greatness. Now, it says here in verse 28, "And he went and found his body thrown in the road, and the donkey and the lion standing beside the body. The lion had not eaten the body or torn the donkey. And the prophet took up the body of the man of God and laid it on the donkey and brought it back to the city to mourn and to bury him." The fact that the lion didn't touch the body is a figure of how God's judgments never go overboard. God never judges too much. And when he's allowed to make judgment, to release his judgments, he does not judge too little either. So his intention was to kill him. It was not to completely disgrace him and to mutilate his body. And that's the reason why he did not allow the lion to kill him. And the lion stood guarding the body. And the reason for that was that God did not want anybody to desecrate this prophet of God's body. That's one of the reasons why the lion remained there. Now it says that the old prophet was able to get the body from the lion, and the reason for that is because when the man of God ate with the old prophet, he surrendered certain spiritual rights, and the old prophet gained control, you could say, over his body, and that's why the lion didn't touch the old prophet as the old prophet approached the body to take it and bury it. The lion just remained there because he knew that the prophet had given up rights over his body to the old prophet by having had communion with him. So now it says here, in verse 30, and he laid the body in his own grave, and they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother. Now, we who know the whole story can quickly say, oh, what a hypocrite, because he is mourning him, and to others who don't know exactly what happened, it looks like the old prophet loved this man very much, and he even risked his life by going to take the body from the presence of the lion to go give it a quote-unquote decent burial. But the people, so in the soul realm, the ministers look like they're doing very nice and wonderful things on behalf of people. But if you look at it from the spiritual perspective, you'll realize that those nice ministers who seem to be doing nice things for other people have actually stolen or taken away the spiritual calling and of the very people they are helping on the outside. So what is the point of you being helped by someone if that person has killed you spiritually already? What is the point? What is the blessing of having someone do nice things for you in the natural realm if they already killed you in the spiritual realm? And that is kind of the irony that's being portrayed here. When the soul rules, things look very different. When you look at things from the spirit, the things that the soul does become hypocritical, inconsistent, and do not make sense. And so this is the reason why this chapter, the Lord has us studying this chapter, because it contrasts the perspective of the soul against the perspective of the spirit.